With a direct blowback system, there's not a lot of tuning to do. It's a simple mass spring system. You can change the mass of the reciprocating components, in this case the buffer and the bolt, or you can change the spring or a combination of the two to tune it to operate properly or get the recoil feeling how you want. Now, as far as I know, this is about the stiffest spring I can run. It's an extra power 308 carbine length spring. So that kind of leaves me playing with the mass of the bolt carrier group and buffer for tuning this system. Typical bolt carrier group and buffer weight together for an AR9 is around 22 to 24 ounces. In the previous video on this gun, I stated 18 to 22 ounces. This seems to be inaccurate based on the research that I've done since then. Maybe 18 ounces would be for very light 9mm loadings for some specific use that I'm not aware of. So this buffer is 6 ounces, and typical AR9 buffer weights are 5.8 to 7.5 ounces. So this Blitzkrieg unit is on the light side of things. This Faxon bolt carrier group is 14.9 ounces. So total, my bolt carrier group and buffer is right around 21 ounces. This is on the light end of things. I want to add some weight to the reciprocating mass to calm down the recoil, not beat up the internals as much. Also, the biggest indication I had that I could add mass to this was that the casings were getting sent about 15 to 20 feet away from the gun, which is really unnecessary. That's indicative of bolt carrier group velocity that is too high. So I could use a heavier buffer around 7 to 7.5 ounces that does not have this little hydraulic piston in it, but I like how this makes the recoil feel, and this was damned expensive, so I'm intent on getting this to work in my system. I can add weight in front of the buffer. What's shown on the screen here is a 2.5 ounce weight offered by Blitzkrieg, and it's 3/4 of an inch long. But the problem with this is that it will turn your cycling system into a short stroke, which means that the bolt will not go back far enough to engage with the bolt catch, meaning you won't have last round bolt hold open anymore. That may be fine for competition use or acceptable to some shooters, but I want that last round bolt hold open feature. And just for information, the standard buffer length is around 4 inches for an AR9. They are longer than standard AR-15 carbine buffers. And the Blitzkrieg buffer is 3.9 inches with the piston collapsed. And this does allow for proper bolt catch operation. So that leaves me with increasing the weight of the bolt carrier group itself. Now, there is a weight in the back of most of these AR9 BCGs that is retained with this 1/4 inch roll pin. The standard diameter for those weights is 0.615 inches, and the bore in this BCG is usually from 0.625 to 0.630. This is a extra heavy tungsten weight from KAK Industries that is specifically for AR9 bolt carrier groups. Weighs 4.5 ounces. The length of the weight is 1.6 inches. Diameter is 0.615. This hole right here is 0.250, and that is for a 1/4 inch roll pin, which retains it into the bolt carrier group. The center of this hole is 0.6 inches from this end and about 1 inch from this end. This is the weight that I just took out of the Faxon bolt carrier group. It's 2.5 ounces. This is a KAK Industries tungsten one. Just a bit over 4.5 ounces, so I'm going to be adding about 2 ounces of weight to the bolt carrier group, which will bring the total weight of the reciprocating mass to 23 ounces, which will be kind of right in the middle of that recommended range. So I have the new weight installed in there, and it's a bit shorter than this one. And so if I flipped it around so this end was back here, it actually stuck out proud of the back of the bolt carrier group a little bit, which could limit the rearward travel and make my last round bolt hold open inoperable. So I flipped it around this way, and it, protrudes the same amount into the carrier as the old weight. So I know it's going to be fine, but when installing a weight like this, you have to be careful that it doesn't lengthen your bolt carrier group. Otherwise, that will limit the stroke of the reciprocating mass. And if it comes too far forward in this channel, it will actually prevent the hammer from swinging up into here. All of these clips with the original BCG weight and the new heavier weight used the same 115 grain S&B ammo. I tried to recreate the original shots as closely as I could for comparison's sake. There is not that much of a difference in any of the clips though, but I could feel a slight difference in the recoil impulse. The heavier BCG weight mellowed it out a little. There was quite a difference in the ejection pattern. With the lighter weight, the brass was going 12 to 15 feet, and with the heavier BCG, the brass was going 8 to 10 feet. After I shot the S&B ammo to compare, I shot some remanufactured 115 grain range ammo that is about 150 feet per second slower than the S&B. That S&B ammo is pretty hot. With the lighter reman ammo, the ejection pattern looked really good, and it was sending empties only 6 to 8 feet, which is kind of ideal.